Today's lesson is all about the first conditional. We use the first conditional to express a condition regarding something that will happen or when there are many chances that it will happen. For example, if I see James tomorrow, I will give him the message. If I see James tomorrow, I will give him the message. Now, this is something that is sure to happen. That is, if I see him, I will give him the message. What kind of time expressions do we use? We usually use tomorrow, next week, and the form. The first part of the sentence, if, will appear in the present simple tense, and the second, the result, will appear in the future simple. Very easy, right? Now, what about the negative conditional? For example, if she doesn't come immediately, we will live without her. If she doesn't come immediately, we will live without her. Now, the negative result. If the weather changes, we won't go out. If the weather changes, we won't go out. We can also use the word unless instead of if not to express a negative conditional. For example, unless she calls me, I won't forgive her. Unless she calls me, I won't forgive her. We won't go on the trip unless the weather changes. Right, so note this. After the word unless, the conditional comes in the positive form because the meaning unless is already negative. Know that after if and unless there will be a verb in the present simple, even though it is intended for the future. Also, pay attention to the comma after the conditional. If the sentence begins with a result, there is no comma. They will come if you invite them. They will come if you invite them. Here's a question. Will you come if I invite you? If I invite you, will you come? You see the difference? Now let's discuss the imperative conditional. This is a sentence like this, a conditional, the whole or some part of which is in the imperative mood. For instance, attack at dawn if the weather is fine. Attack at dawn if the weather is fine. I will mostly be talking about examples of these kinds, so bear with me. There are many more complex examples, but let's focus on the easy parts. Conditionals can be formulated using only if or unless, as I mentioned earlier. Here's another good sentence. Attack at dawn unless the weather is fine. Attack at dawn unless the weather is fine. Number 3. Attack at dawn only if the weather is fine. Number 4. Attack at dawn if and only if the weather is fine. Even more complex imperative conditionals can be formulated by embedding one imperative conditional inside another or by using words like otherwise and else. Here's a sentence. Attack at dawn unless the weather is fine. Otherwise, flee, but only if it is Thursday. We can also use models other than will in the main clause of a sentence in the first conditional. I'll give you a few examples. If you ask George, he may or might be able to help you. Possibility, right? You can or may leave the room if you've finished the test. What's that? Permission. If he doesn't come soon, we must or will have to live without him. What's that? obligation. If you ever go to Chicago, you should take a boat trip on the river. Suggestion. If you don't watch your steps, you're going to fall over. Prediction. Okay, folks, that's it for today. If you liked my video, please give us a thumb up and join the channel if you haven't done so. And I'll see you next lesson. Bye.